Hi, this is KV, and this is the moon phase report for Pisces. Okay, so this is going to be very exciting times, although you'll hear me say that a lot. I'm very positive about things. But okay, first off, you're moving into this really important phase of and this is going to continue even more so with the new moon in Aries, but you're going to be very focused on bringing more money into your life. For one, this is going to be a big area of really kind of getting into your creative nature and figuring out what you should really put your whole heart efforts into to help bring in more stability into your life, to bring more groundedness into your life. And how you're going to be doing this, and what's really going to be happening too, is that you're in a really big, it's going to be a quick phase, or it's going to be a quick movement of energy, but right now it's really kind of taking you to these kind of psychological depths. And what's happening is that you are definitely kind of seeing some layers being peeled back into like this deepest, darkest part of your nature. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be finding out places that you need to, one, kind of be a little more loving and soft and understanding, so that you can, it's kind of even like learning to see other people's sides of things right now, even like other people's sides of how their contribution has shaped you and shaped the way you are. So you will be really kind of seeing new things about yourself, but what's going to happen is that it's going to really bring in this kind of more peaceful way of being and dealing with people. There's definitely going to be the element of other people. So because of a lot of this is Mars, you can expect that people will be pushing your buttons, or pushing you to these limits that you aren't really comfortable going to. Like maybe you're wanting to stay in this little box of safety where nobody pushes your buttons or challenges you, and it will be happening, but it's totally just happening to kind of reveal these hidden wounds that you maybe didn't know you had, or you thought you had dealt with. But what's going to happen now is you're going to be much quicker with learning the lesson in what is the best path for you to handle these kind of things. And peace is going to be the theme. So you're going to really be big on like, how can I understand this person better so that we can have harmony between us. You'll be much more, not so much adamant on standing your ground and not moving an inch. You're going to be more like, okay, can we both just come to this middle ground and try to understand each other? It might even be a lot easier right now for you to see where you need to say you're sorry, But something with this is going to be freeing you up. Like everything right now for everybody is lots of layers of things. So like even doing this kind of thing is going to free you up to delve more into your creative arts, or what your gifts are to do, so that money can start flowing in more steadily. And money will be a lot on your mind. You probably have been spending a lot recently. There's a lot going out, but it's kind of part of this equation. So you don't even think about that, or don't even worry about it. Do everything you can to not focus on the money aspect, and really find that trust place of like knowing it's always showed up in the past when you've needed it. It always has. Like you've never been completely left out to dry in a bad way, So you're going to kind of, and hopefully what could be really cool with this is if you could really kind of move into a new space of money and your relationship to it, from seeing that it's true, you always are supported and taken care of, and what you need always does show up. No matter how much is going out, you still always end up being taken care of. So what would be really awesome is during this time if you could like discover a more revolutionary way of being with money, and just finding that safe space of like always knowing you're totally protected, and just trust that when you do need it, it will show up. So there's going to be a big focus of that. And now one thing I want to talk about that's very exciting. Yeah, there's still this really, yeah, there is this wound thing. I do see that all over the place there. There is still this really important wound thing that's, oh wow, that's funny. Yeah, there could even be something too that is father related, which I have that personally, which is kind of funny. But something with this, the retrograde Saturn is making a trine with Chiron, which is our wound at this time. And there may be something too from your past, or something from somebody who was the ultimate authority in your past. And this can be relationship too, like if you're in a relationship, this could be happening with your partner. But something where you're having to deal with somebody who was an authority in your life, and there is a wound tied in there that is needing some attention at this time. And this is a really big transformative full moon in massive ways. You know, it was funny, on first sight I really saw it being like the most awesome full moon, and I still kind of stand by that. It's going to bring really awesome elevating things in our life. But the first thing is that we have to examine what we need to let go of. So it's kind of like there's going to be a payback for something that actually isn't that fun. So it is an awesome full moon, but it will kind of push us to the limits of looking at things that are kind of uncomfortable, and we're going to be seeing what we need to let go of. So there's something like this that's going to be tied in. And then what's really cool is that we have this really awesome aspect with Jupiter. Jupiter's opposing the exact midpoint of Saturn and Pluto. So this is something that can be interpreted on one hand of where you're seeing where you can't trust somebody. And this is just one side of it. It can be something where you're realizing someone has just really let you down for a long time, and you're finally like, that's it, you know? Like, I can't give my life up. I can't give my life force away to someone who doesn't support and empower me completely. So you could be having those kind of feelings. But what I see with this placement with the Jupiter at the midpoint is that to move forward in your life, and for you it's going to be something, you know, moving forward with this roots related thing that is like cleaning out this old baggage you have that is, you know, the base of the foundation that's not really as sturdy as you would like, and what you need to really take you to where you're going. The keys to that are that you have to learn to trust the higher truth within you, and that you do have this way to access information, and you know a lot, and you know what is best and what is not right. And you're going to be kind of needing to be, in order to move forward and really clear out this foundation that isn't the healthiest, you're going to need to really honor this about yourself, and about trusting yourself, and trusting that you know best and you can take care of yourself, and that, you know, that you are a good authority. And ultimately that's what it is you're going to have to be putting yourself in the position of being more of authority of a spiritual or philosophical sense. And this can be like you also sharing a message that is something that crosses boundaries, so something that spreads far and wide and reaches other people from other cultures and other places in the world. So there's that element of you owning that you can be an authority on this stuff, and trusting that you do have something really important to share is going to help kind of clear out and expand your life in this arena of your foundation. So it's kind of like owning who you are. By you doing that, you don't accept these things that are less than. You don't just take things because you're supposed to, or everyone tells you you're supposed to. Like, I even have this thing that's been kind of new with me, but like, even with family, I feel like, you know, and it's everybody. Everybody, you know, there's this common thing that we say, like, yeah, family is some of your most difficult relationships are with family. But at the same time, I have some friends that are so tight and supported by their family that they kind of can't even understand that, because they're like, whoa, my best friends are my family. They got my back. And I, you know, through, excuse me, through a lot of relationships, and you know, I'm always very much in people's full scope of who they are. You know, I like to feel out where they came from, what that relationship was like, what this was like. But I really just, what I found is that, and what I truly believe is that, if you have an awesome relationship with your family members, or anybody that you really care what they think about you, then by all means, don't change a thing. That's awesome. You're so fortunate. But if there is this struggle where you're always trying to be something for them, and it's never acceptable, and you know, you're never good enough, or they don't accept you for who you are, and you have to be this other person, and you know, they don't support you or really think you're as kick-ass as you really are, you know, they question you, and like, I just think that those need to be let go of. And you know, we can't change other people on the spiritual path or whatever of awakening and support, learning that we really are just always supposed to be supporting people, because it just feels so much better than criticizing and telling them they're bad and not good enough when that's just our story, you know. So like, if there's ever that kind of thing, it's like, I think now we're just getting more powerful about knowing that we have to live for ourselves. And if somebody supports us, awesome, keep them in their life. That's what you only want to be surrounded with. But if people just make you feel like you're never good enough, you just have to let them go. And it's for your best. And it's not like this necessarily means a permanent thing. It's for right now. You know, anybody can change on a dime. Anybody can awaken on a dime. And then they're like, you know, when we awaken, our hearts go out. And so that could be something that you're having to face now, looking at this placement. And it's really like owning that you deserve the best, and you should expect the best. And if you kind of find this trust in yourself, then the rest will just kind of come together and clear out that decay or disease or faulty foundation that's actually keeping you from going where you need to go. So that's kind of what Pisces are kind of going through right now. And let me see what else, if there's something else on here. Yeah, this is cool too, because like, you're going to be able to, because of, yeah, Mercury moving forward and at a pretty decent point of being right there with it now and out of the shadow, this too is helping you even more see where there's been this restriction or holdback in your life that's really been keeping you kind of tied in the past, or tied in guilt, or tied into regretting something, and not seeing that it actually had its perfect timing and there wasn't one thing that was wrong with it. So you're going to really be able to comprehend that in your mind at this time. So I just say there's a lot to let go of at this time. Keep an eye on layers being peeled. Try to be as honest as you can. Try to like surround yourself with friends that also can help you with this, as they will be able to say, this is a repeating pattern in your life, you know. Don't you think there's something to this? What's your part in this? You know, why is this happening to you? Why are these things continuing to show up in your life? So we're in this time that if we can be honest, and really like see what we need to see, and also think of the peace aspect of how we can, you know, come together and not be so divided in you against me, then you really can be moving ahead in like leaps and bounds, and kind of freeing yourself up, and really kind of even being like feeling more liberated than you've felt in a really long time. And really kind of, this is me. So that's kind of what's going to be going on. All right, I'm going to stop there. And I also want you to go watch, if you haven't already, watch the main energy reading that I also talk about, and that one will apply for everyone, but I cover a little more on what's going on with the planets on a whole spectrum, so we know how to deal what everybody's going through. And this was just more particularly for Pisces, but okay. So I will see you in 2 weeks with the new moon in Aries. You have a pleasant time peeling back the layers. See it as fun. Thanks.